The pure way. The third way, unlike what many believe, is not juxtaposed between a polar right and left. The third way was never found because the world accepted imperfection. An alternative to failure cannot be found within the culture of lies. The world has been fighting over the virtue of the right and left options, without ever realizing these are nothing more than different ways of failing. The right and left are the two faces of the same lie. The conflict between left and right was created to give us a sense we were fighting for what is right. This was at best a very truncated sense of what is right. But it is too easy to flip-flop back and forth between the two options. People change sides all the time, without solving anything. This would not happen if either option was the solution we hoped it to be. The defenders of the political right favor the rich. Conservatives tend to laud the positive attributes associated with the self-made man. Indeed, the right could be considered the masculine option. As it falls out of favor, so are men defamed and humiliated. Capitalism is an answer to the problems of the left, but it is not the answer to the problems of man. Socialism is the political feminine. Compassion is a feminist trait. But it has a problem: it cannot work outside of the masculine sphere of self-reliance. Charity is one thing, but the welfare state is another. The left cannot redistribute what the right did not create. But if the right is not forced to share things more fairly, it devolves down into revolution and anarchy. Each side is the other's nemesis and savior. Men help other men stand on their own 2 feet and gain self-reliance. But we are not going to carry anyone who is able to walk. The feminine principle is all about compassion. It needs victims to sympathize with. Poverty is the perfect foil for the feminist principle. The feminist seeing someone in need immediately feels a need to redistribute what exists. Feminists cannot bear to see anyone suffer, regardless of the cause. If they can alleviate the suffering with what is available, they will use what exists to reduce the pain of others. This usually goes too far, as those who become the clients of a feminist, like kids, usually learn how to manipulate the empathy shown by women. The feminine tend to coddle the needy until they turn them into perpetual victims and dependents. However, both masculine and feminism can be taken to extremes. When distilled into politics and taken to the extreme, the masculine principle turns into absolutism or doctrinarism. When feminism becomes extremist, it turns into a cradle-to-grave welfare state. Both extremes are wrong because they are created by a lie. The two extremes of right and left are two responses to the same lie, that people cannot be trusted. The truth is, liars cannot be trusted, but not all persons are liars. But it is not the lie of the lips that are the danger, it is the lie that is lived that is the real danger. The extremes of right and left need to be understood and fought against. But no matter from which angle we criticize something, the debate will at some point become polarized between the left and the right. The longer the debate, the more polarized it will become. The left always wants more liberal policies, and the right wants more restrictions on access. Yet, there is never a resolution to the debate because the two positions naturally diverge, and the division becomes greater the longer the issue is debated. The reason for this is simple: both sides fear each other, because both sides respond to fear in the opposite manner. Fear elicits either a masculine or feminine response. Each way only exacerbates the fears of the other, so the more you fight for your position, the more you excite fear in the other, causing every deeper division. The West has become more feminine and so responds to anxiety with a nurturing response. The East has become rabidly masculine. But we can no longer beat them at this game. In fact, we need to stop the game and adopt a new way, a new strategy. This alternative path is called the pure way, or the way of faith. At the center of the way of faith is the church. Those of faith are purified, and this builds the church quantitatively and qualitatively. But the key is to stop lying to yourself and to others. To live a life of purity requires honesty, and this is hard in a world founded on lies. Yet, this is a path anyone can find if they seek it and can follow if they are serious about it. Do this, and all the rest will be added on to you.